11, 12. Time is around 10:59. We need to start the class at 11 o'clock. Sorry, 11 o'clock. Um, we'll wait another 1 or 2 minutes. So I request all the students. Okay, it's very important. I request those who are present today kindly inform your friends, your classmates, to attend class regularly. It's very important. So from today onwards, I will keep track about those who are not attending the class, and I just want to interact them in person. If they have any problem, so we need to solve it, because initially I found there are around 40 to 45 students attended the class, but now it reduced and it came down around 32 to 35 students are attending, but uh, it's not good sign, because this subject is purely derivative and mathematical oriented subject, and even though we are providing material, if you are attending class, it may be useful and it's very simple for you to study. More importantly, because of the short time span, I am skipping a lot of topics, so I'm giving it as a homework. So I want each and everyone present today's class kindly inform your friends to attend class. It's very important. If possible, you can even send a message to your friends and ask them to attend the class. It's very, very important, because see, it's an online class and I'm providing material. I'm simply taking class and I'm not asking question or I'm not disturbing you. I just want you to listen what I'm talking. Okay, please ensure that you have to talk to your friends or classmates and ask them to join the class regularly. Now it's 15. So I find many of the students are joining the class at the lately, maybe before 10 minutes or something like that. That's not correct. Okay, that is also not correct. Anyhow, with this small information to you, I'm starting my class now. So, for the past few classes, we have been discussing about second order system. Okay, second order system and related topics, in particular time response, and we have discussed about lot of parameters, and now we are in a position to solve some problem. Last class we solved one problem that is related to response, determining response of the second order system for a given input signal, that is unit step signal. Now we are going to discuss another version of the problem, and later on we will discuss different kind of problems we are going to discuss. With that, we need to stop this topic and we have to start a steady state error, etc. Meantime, we will give you PT1 related questions, that is assignment 1. So we will consider assignment 1 as the PT1 question. So we will post it soon. I have to discuss with other class faculty members, and I will post this later. Now, this is second problem, example 2. So, first I'll read the problem, then we will discuss what we need to solve it. The problem says a positional control system with velocity feedback is shown in figure. What is the response of the system for unit step input? So the statement is very clear. So they have given a closed loop system, okay, with some feedback, velocity feedback, and we need to find out the response of the system when input is unit step signal. So this problem, C of S is the output, and here we have R of S. I have not mentioned this. So here this is R of s is input, and this one, that is 0.1 s plus 1, is feedback, and open loop transfer function is 100 divided by s into s plus 2. So this is the given problem. We need to find out, we are going to find out response of the system when input signal is unit step signal. So this is the unit step signal. அதாவது ஒரு யூனிட் ஸ்டெப் சிக்னலை கொடுத்தோம் அப்படின்னா இந்த சிஸ்டம் எப்படி ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணுதுன்னு பார்க்க போகிறோம். ஸோ வி ஆர் கோயிங் டு ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் வாட் வில் ஹேப்பன் டு தி அவுட்புட் வென் input signal is unit step signal. So first and foremost step of this problem is we need to find out the transfer function, that is C of s by R of s. So this is a simple feedback system. We need to find out transfer function, that is C of s by R of s. Later on we need to find out inverse Laplace transform to find the response of the system. So first step is transfer function. So the closed loop transfer function for standard, we have been using this formula to find out closed loop transfer function. This is the formula to find out closed loop transfer function for the given block diagram. So the closed loop transfer function is given by C of s by R of s is equal to G of s divided by 1 plus G of s into H of s. Here G of s is the open loop transfer function and H of s the feedback. So open loop transfer function already given in the problem, the block diagram. G of s is equal to 100 divided by s into s plus 2, and H of s also given. It is not unity feedback, feedback is different. Okay, now H of s is equal to 0.1 s plus 1. Now we are going to find out the transfer function. So the transfer function, that is we are going to substitute G of s and H of s in this particular equation, that is C of s by R of s is equal to G of s divided by 1 plus G of s into H of s. When you are substituting these two things in this equation, we will get C of s by R of s is equal to 100 divided by s into s plus 2 divided by 1 plus 100 divided by s into s plus 2 into 0.1 in 1 s plus 1. Okay, this is this is G of s and this is H of s. So now we need to cross multiply and we have to cancel the common terms. So when I'm cross multiplying these two things, I will get s into s plus 2 plus 100 into 0.1 s plus 1 divided by s into s plus 2. So now I can cancel these two things, s into s plus 2 and s into s plus 2 cancel. The remaining term I have 100 divided by s into s plus 2 plus 100 into 0.1 s plus 1. Now again it's simple mathematical multiplication and summation. Once we when we are doing this, we will get 100 divided by s square plus 2s plus 10s plus 100. That is when you have to multiply s inside the bracket and 100 inside the bracket. So s square plus 2s plus 10s plus 100s. So this equation will be reduced to 100 divided by s square plus 12x plus 100. This is the transfer function of the given closed loop control system. Now before solving or before finding the response, okay, response of the system, we need to analyze the characteristic polynomial. So characteristic polynomial is nothing but the polynomial that is denominator of the transfer function is called characteristic polynomial. So we need to analyze this characteristic polynomial for the type of the system. Okay, now we need to find out whether it is easily it's a factorable or a complex zero, how many number of poles are there, poles are real or complex or etc etc. Using that we can say something about the system. Now we need to analyze this characteristic polynomial by equating this equation is equal to 0. By equating this equation is equal to 0. So now the characteristic equation, that is denominator of the transfer function, that is x square plus 12s plus 100 is equal to 0. Now we are going to factor it is equal to 0. We are going to factor this equation using the standard procedure. We know how to factor a given second order equation. So simple way, the second order polynomial. So we have two roots, s1 and s2, s1 and s2. So for this particular second order polynomial, we can easily find the roots by using this equation, that is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. You know what is b, what is a, and what is c. These are the coefficients of power of s. So by seeing this polynomial, we can say the value of a, b, c. A is equal to 1, b is equal to 12, and c is 100. Now we are going to substitute the value of ABC in this equation to find out the value. So b is 12 plus or minus 12 plus or minus square root of 12 square minus 4 in 100 divided by 2 into 1, which is equal to minus 12 plus or minus square root of 144, that is 144 minus 400 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 12 plus or minus square root of minus 366 divided by 2, which is equal to minus 12 plus or minus j 16. Because of minus 1, the square root of minus 1 is equal to j. This is a complex. Okay, minus 12 plus or minus j into 16 by 2. From that, when you are dividing this by 2, you will get the roots s1 and s2 is equal to minus 6 plus or minus j8, hence we can consider s1 is equal to minus 6 plus j8 and s2 is equal to minus 6 minus j8. We have two roots. These two roots are complex. Okay, complex in the sense the system is called underdamped. If these roots of the characteristic polynomial are complex conjugates, then we can say that the system is underdamped, and so the response of the system will have damped oscillation. So by seeing the roots of the characteristic polynomial, that is denominator of transfer function, we can say the system is damped or underdamped or critical damped, etc., etc. Now these roots are complex conjugates. Roots are complex and complex conjugates. Hence, we can say that the system is underdamped. So the response of the system will have damped oscillation. Now we are going to find out the inverse Laplace transform to find out the unit step response of the system. So now the procedure is the same. Up to the previous step, we can say the nature of the system, control system. Now we can use the partial fraction procedure to solve or find inverse to take the response of the system. Now, so we are going to find out a response when input signal is unit step signal. Hence, I am writing the previous, that is transfer function like this. That is C of S is equal to R of S into 100 divided by S square plus 12S plus 100. I have simply multiplied R of S with the with this polynomial. That's it. Okay, I have rearranged the location of the signal. That's it. So initially this R of S was here, that is C of S by R of S. Now we have rearranged, that is C of S equal to R of S into 100 divided by S square plus 12S plus 100. Now we are going to find out unit step response. Hence the value of R of S is equal to 1 by S. That is, this is the unit Laplace transform of unit step signal, that is R of S equal to 1 by S. Now we are going to substitute the value of R of S in this equation. R of S is equal to 1 by S. When you are substituting R of S in this equation, you will get 100 divided by S into S square plus 12S plus 100. Here the problem is if this polynomial, that is S square plus 12S plus 100 is factorable, if it is dividable, if it is possible to divide this polynomial into small polynomial, then we can simply divide and we can easily solve the problem. But the problem is here, this when you are finding roots of this polynomial, the roots are complex conjugates. It's complex numbers, so it is not possible to simply factor and find inverse transform. So hence we need to use a different method of partial fraction to solve, to take inverse Laplace transform. Hence, so I'm using a different technique of partial fraction here. By seeing this, by seeing this, uh, um, somebody can respond me. Is it visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
But here some problem is there. PPT is not working. So just wait for some time. All of you wait for some time. I'll once again load the PPT. Is it visible? Somebody can respond to me.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. தெரியுதா? Okay. Now, I told you that it is not possible to factor. It is because of the complex, the factor is complex conjugate. It is not possible to separate to small polynomial. Hence, I am going to use another techniques in partial fraction to separate it into small polynomial. Now, we have got s and s square plus 12s plus 100. So I am going to separate these two into separate equation. So I am rewriting this equation like C of s is equal to a by s plus, since it has the denominator has power 2, polynomial power 2, we cannot simply use a single constant. Hence I am using bs plus c, okay, in the numerator, and the polynomial I am placing this polynomial here. So bs plus c divided by s square plus 12s plus 100. Now, using standard procedure, we are going to find out the value of coefficients a, b and c. So a can be easily find, you know the method. So a, value of a can be determined by multiplying c of s by s and substituting s is equal to 0. When we are doing this procedure, we can easily find out the value of a. So I'm going to substitute the value of equations c of s. C of s equal to 100 divided by s square s into s square plus 12s plus 100 into s. So s will be cancelled. So 100 divided by s square plus 12s plus 100, and I'm going to substitute s is equal to 0 in this equation. I will get, So when you are substituting s is equal to 0 in this equation, this will become 0, this will become 0, and I have only 100. So 100 by 100 is equal to 1. Now we need to find out the value of b and c. So here we cannot follow the same procedure to find out the value of constant b and c. Here we are going to cross multiply it and equate the equation, and we are going to find the coefficient, we are going to equate the coefficient of the polynomial, that is s power. Okay, now it's very simple, that is residue of b and c are evaluated by cross multiplying the following equation and equating the coefficient of power of s. So we are going to simply cross multiplying and equating the coefficient right hand side and left hand side to find out the value of b and c. So when you are cross multiplying, we can multiply s into s square plus 12s plus 100. The ரெண்டு சேர்ந்துரும். So we can cancel these two things. When you are cross multiplying, you will get 100 is equal to a into, you have to multiply this one with a and s with bs and c. So 100 is equal to a into s square plus 12s plus 100 plus bs in plus c into s. Okay, left hand side 100 and right hand side we have this equation. Now we need to multiply a inside this bracket and s inside this bracket. When you are multiplying this, a s square plus 12 as plus 100a plus b s square plus s into c. Now we are going to separate the power of s. When you are rearranging this equation, so I am going to separate s square, s and constant. So a plus b into s square plus 12a plus c s plus 100a, which is equal to 100, which is equal to 100. So if it is 100, I can say that 100 into s power 0 plus 0 into s power 1 plus 0 into s square, something like that I can write. Hence, the power of s square is 0. I can write like a plus b is equal to 0. That is, இங்கே வந்து பவர் இல்லை, s square இல்லை, s 1 இல்லை, s power 0, that is 1 is there. So I can equate the coefficient of s square with 0. Similarly, I can equate 12a plus c with 0, and the remaining coefficient is 100a, that is equal to 100. So a plus p is equal to 0, 12a plus c is equal to 0, that is s square coefficient, this is s square coefficient, and this one is s coefficient, and 100 is equal to 100a. From this I can say that a is equal to 1. Now we already determined a is equal to 1. We have two set of equations, that is a plus b is equal to 0. From this equation, b is equal to, I can write like b is equal to minus a. Substitute the value of a, you will get b is equal to minus 1. So here b is equal to minus a value is 1, hence b is equal to minus 1. And also we have another equation, 12a plus c is equal to 0. 12a plus c is equal to 0. So we have value of a is equal to 1. When you are substituting a is equal to 1 in this equation, 12 plus c is equal to 0, that implies c is equal to 12. So we have obtained the value of coefficients a, b and c. Now you have to substitute these coefficients in the previous equation, that is c of s equal to a by s plus bc plus c, bs plus c divided by s square plus 12s plus 100. When you are substituting the value of a, b and c, you will get c of s equal to 1 by s plus minus s minus 12 divided by s square plus 12s plus 100. When you are taking this minus outside, you will get 1 by s minus s plus 12 divided by s square plus 12s plus 100. Okay, now I can write this equation like, because we need to find out inverse Laplace transform, we need to write this set of equation in such a way that we can easily find inverse Laplace transform, that we need to find a solution. Okay, so I am rearranging these polynomial in such a way that we can easily pick up the standard format in inverse Laplace transform and find the solution. Okay, for that particular purpose I am rearranging this equation like 1 by s, because we don't have any problem with 1 by s. Inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is 1, but it is very difficult to find out inverse Laplace transform of s plus 12 divided by s square plus 12s plus 100, because we don't have any standard format for this kind of equation. So we need to rearrange this equation so that we can easily pick up a standard inverse Laplace transform format for inverse Laplace transform, and we can find the response. For that purpose I am writing this equation like, initially I am going to write the denominator like s square plus 12s plus 100, this particular equation, into s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. So 6 square is nothing but 36, 8 square is 64, 36 plus 64 is 100. Okay, so s plus 6 the whole square is s square plus 12x plus 36. So I can write the denominator like s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. So if we could write like this, then we can separate the numerator like s plus 6 plus 6. Now I am going to separate this into two equations like 1 by s. This I don't have any problem, because we can easily find the solution to this particular uh, part. And the next one is I am going to write s plus 6 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square minus the 6 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. Now we have uh, we have solution for this particular thing, that is s plus 6 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. We have solution inverse Laplace transform standard format, but we don't have any formula for this. For that I am going to again rearrange this like multiplying 8 in the numerator and denominator. So I am rewriting this equation like 6 by 8 into 8 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. So these are all some manipulations to find the find inverse Laplace transform. So we have to make the polynomial in such a way that it will match with the standard set of equations. Now we are going to find inverse Laplace transform. So inverse Laplace transform of C of t is C of s is C of t. Okay, that is C of t is equal to inverse Laplace transform of C of s. Now we are going to find out inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s, inverse Laplace transform of s plus 6 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square minus 6 by 8 into inverse Laplace transform of 8 divided by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. So we know that inverse Laplace transform of 1 by s is 1. There is no problem. And this is also standard format. S plus 6 by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square. The inverse Laplace transform is e power minus 60 into cos 80. Similarly, inverse Laplace transform of 8 by s plus 6 the whole square plus 8 square is e power minus 60 into sin 80. So in order to find inverse Laplace transform, we have manipulated and we have rearranged the equation so that in order to reduce the burden of taking inverse Laplace transform, hence because of that we came to this particular point, that is C of t is equal to 1 minus e power 60. I have taken e power 60 common outside into cos 80 plus 6 by 8 into sin 80. This is the inverse Laplace transform of C of s, that is nothing but the response of the given control system when input signal is unit step signal. That's it. Again, I'm saying this C of t is nothing but response of the control system, given control system when input signal is unit step signal. Now we need to find out few other terms in that is given in the problem. So this is we have determined one first answer to first question. We need to find out the damping and natural frequencies. Now we are going to convert the result can be converted into standard form rectangle triangle with zeta and 1 minus zeta square, that we will discuss in the next slide. Now we have this equation, that is transfer function C of s by R of s is equal to 100 divided by s square plus 12s plus 100. So we are going to equate this equation with the standard equation. Standard equation we have given when we started second order system, that is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 zeta omega n s plus omega n square. Now we are going to equate these two equations to find out natural frequency and a damping ratio. Damping ratio is zeta. We are going to find out the value of zeta. When you are equating these two things, you will get omega n square is equal to 100. So omega n square is equal to 100, then omega n is equal to 10. That is, we are simply equating the coefficient of s to find out the value of omega n and zeta. Next we have 2 zeta omega n here. 2 zeta omega n. This is equal to 12. So if it is equal to 12, we can easily find out the damping ratio zeta. Zeta is equal to 12 divided by 2 into omega n. Already we have determined omega n. Omega n is equal to 10. So when you are substituting the value of omega n, we will get 12 divided by 2 into 10, which is equal to 0.6. So we have obtained the value of damping ratio and natural frequency. Now we need to find out other factors to solve the problem. Okay. Now, hope you remember this kind of diagram. This is the right angle. தமிழ்ல சொன்ன செங்கோண முக்கோணம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. தமிழ்ல உள்ளவங்களுக்கு தெரியும் செங்கோண முக்கோணம் அப்படின்ன உடனே உங்களுக்கு இமீடியட்டா you will remember Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem என்ன சொல்லுது அப்படின்னா கர்ணம் ஸ்கொயர் இஸ் ஈக்குவல் டு சைடில் ரெண்டு இருக்கு இல்லையா, கர்ணம் அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து இந்த இடம், இது கர்ணம். So this square is equal to sum of these two sides, square of these two sides ங்கிறது தான் Pythagoras theorem. Okay, இங்கிலீஷில் உள்ளவங்களுக்கு in a right angled triangle the square of the hypotenuse is equal to sum of squares of the other two sides. This is the definition of Pythagoras, that is rectangle definition. So if you are considering this is கர்ணம், தமிழில் கர்ணம் சொல்கிறாங்க இல்லையா, there is hypotenuse, இது வந்து 1. If you are considering this is 1 and any one of side, there is அடிப்பக்கம் சொல்ல side leg is zeta is equal to zeta அப்படின்னா this part, if you are considering this is 1 and this is zeta, then this leg is square root of 1 minus zeta square, because a square is equal to b square plus c. That is the formula. At the same time, a is equal to square root of b square plus c square. அதுதான் rule. சரியா? So in using this, we can easily find out one side and other side. That is, if you know zeta value, it is very very simple to find out square root of 1 minus zeta and 1. Okay? When you are seeing this right angle, we can easily find out sin theta and cos theta. Sin theta, sin theta அப்படின்னா தமிழ்லேயே நமக்கு சொல்லலாம். sin thetaவோட ஃபார்முலா, ரைட் ஆங்கிளில் sin thetaவோட ஃபார்முலா என்னன்னா எதிர்பக்கம் பை கர்ணம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. தட் இஸ் திஸ் சைடு பை திஸ் சைடு. ஓகே, அதே cos thetaங்கிறது அடிப்பக்கம் பை கர்ணம்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. ஸோ sin theta, அங்கே கர்ணம் வந்து 1, கர்ணம் வேல்யூ வந்து 1. ஸோ sin theta is equal to 0.8 divided by 1, that is 0.8. Cos theta is equal to 0.6 by 1, that is 0.6. So when you have cos theta and sin theta, we can easily find out tan theta. Tan theta is equal to tan theta அப்படிங்கிறது என்னது, sin theta by cos theta. So 0.8 divided by 0.6. From that we can easily find out theta value. Theta is equal to tan inverse of 0.8 by 0.6. When you are finding the value of tan inverse, you will get 0.925 radian. Now we are going to substitute all these values here to find out theta and etc. Now, so C of t already, this equation we already came to this equation. C of t is equal to 1 minus e power minus 60 into 6 by 8 sin 80 plus cos 80. When you are taking 10 by 8 outside, then we can write this equation like 1 minus e power minus 60 divided by 10 by 8. When you are taking here I have 8. I feel sorry, it's 8. Okay. Uh, Here when you are taking, oh, sorry. This is 1. So we are going to take 10 by 8 from this equation. When you are taking it, you will get 0.6 sin 80 plus 0.8 into cos 80. Okay, so we have already determined what is 0.6 and 0.8. So 0.8 is nothing but sin theta, 0.6 is cos theta. Now we are going to substitute sin and cos theta in this equation. You will get 1 minus e power minus 60 into 10 by 8 cos theta sin 80 plus sin theta cos 80. So this is something looks like cos A cos A plus B formula. So I think you are also familiar with the trigonometry formula. Cos A plus B is equal to cos A cos B, cos A sin B, cos A cos B minus sin A sin B. Similarly, sin A plus B is equal to sin A sin B cos A cos, that the formulas you already have studied in your previous or semester or in mathematics or something like that. When you are applying sin A plus B formula, we can reduce this particular equation like sin A t plus theta. Okay, so we have already determined the value of theta. You have to substitute the value of theta here. You will get this is the response. So 1 minus 1.25 into e power minus 60 into sine 80 plus 0.925. This is the response, that is unit step response of the given second order control system. So actually, as far as my experience concerned, it's a very simple problem, but we need a lot of mathematical derivation to solve this problem. We have to remember a lot of equations, lot of formulas to attack this problem. In particular, inverse Laplace transform and Laplace transform formula. Otherwise, it's very difficult to solve this kind of problem. So with this problem, with this particular equation, the second problem is over. We need to discuss quickly the third problem and we will stop the lecture because already 10 minutes is there. I'll start this problem and I'll stop at 11:48 and we'll have 2 minutes discussion, or if you want to stop me earlier for discussion, it's well. You have to recently one person joined. Initially, no people are joining. No people are joining. I want somebody to see who is joined recently. You know, it's not an issue. When I am downloading the attendance sheet, who are all joining recently, I can see with the time, what time people are joining and all. I'll call one by one, okay, in next class, because people are joined the class at later. It's very close to taking attendance. So from next class onwards, I need to take attendance in between the sense after starting 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Okay, no, this is not good practice. I really feel very bad about this situation. I just want to call. No, okay, next problem is straight. It's different kind of problem. It's not like previous two problems. The response is given here. So in previous problem, that problem they asked you to derive response of the system when input signal is unit step signal, but here the response output is given. That is, the response of the servo mechanism is C of t is equal to 1 plus 0.2 minus 60 plus 1.2 e power minus 10 t when subject to unit step input signal. The problem clearly stated this is the response output when input is step signal. What they are asking is obtain an expression for closed loop transfer function. This is a reverse problem. So there in previous problem they asked to find out the response from the transfer function, but here they have given the response. From the response we need to find out the transfer function. It's a reverse process. So here there we have taken inverse Laplace transform. Here we need to find out Laplace transform of the given signal, and also we need to find out determine the undamped natural frequency and damping ratio. We need to find out omega n and also zeta. It's very simple problem. Kindly have a look. So this is the given equation, that is response C of t is equal to 1 plus 0.2 e power minus 60 minus 1.2 e power minus 10t. When you are taking Laplace transform of this equation, you will get Laplace transform of 1 is 1 by s. 0.2 1 e power minus 60 is 0.2 into 1 plus s plus 10 s plus 60 minus 1 by 1.2 into e power inverse Laplace transform 1 e power minus 10t is 1 divided by s plus 10. This is the inverse Laplace transform. So we have determined inverse Laplace transform of the response of the system. Now we have to find out transfer function. You know what is transfer function? Transfer function is nothing but Laplace transform of output to Laplace transform of input. Here we are going to separate this equation. We have output Laplace transform of output C of s. We need to find out what is R of s. So we have to cross multiply and equate this. We have to solve this equation. So when you are cross multiplying, that is, we are going to take all this common, that is s into, you take this denominator, you see this denominator, s into s plus 60 into x plus 10. When you are multiplying all these things, we need to multiply here s plus 60 into s plus 10 plus 0.2 into s plus 10 minus 1.2 into s plus 60. அதாவது இது எல்லாம் காமனாக ஒரு இடத்துல கொண்டு ஃபேக்டர் ஃபுல்லாக மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணதுக்கப்புறம் இங்கே எதெல்லாம் மல்டிப்ளை பண்ணணும்? இங்கே என்னது இல்லை? எஸ் ப்ளஸ் 60 இல்லை, எக்ஸ் ப்ளஸ் 10 இல்லை. இங்கே என்ன வேணும்? எஸ் வேணும், எஸ் ப்ளஸ் 10 வேணும். இங்கே s into s plus 60 வேணும். So when you are multiplying all these things and rearranging and separating the powers of s square s and s power 0, you will get. So you have to multiply these equations, that is s plus 60 and s plus 10 எல்லாத்தையும் multiply பண்ணி when you are solving this equation you will get C of s. This C of s is equal to 600 divided by s into s plus 60 into s plus 10. This is the final equation. Here we know that input is unit step signal, so response of the, that is Laplace transform of R of s 1 by s. So இங்கே ஒரு s already இருக்குது. So I am going to find out, I am going to rewrite the previous equation is R of s, we have to substitute 1 by s is equal to R of s. So C of s is equal to R of s into 600 divided by s plus 60 into s plus 10. So we need to find out transfer function. I am going to put this R of s in denominator of C of s. So C of s by R of s is equal to 600 divided by s plus 60 into s plus 10. So when you are multiplying these two things, you will get s square plus 70s plus 600. So we are going to equate this equation with the standard equation, that is omega n square divided by s square plus 2 into zeta omega n s plus omega n square. When you are equating, you will get the natural frequency, that is omega n square is equal to 600, and when you are taking square root of both sides, you will get omega n is equal to 24.49 radian per second, and damping ratio, that is 2 zeta omega n is equal to 70. 2 zeta omega n is equal to 70. So zeta is equal to 70 by 2 omega n. Omega n already we have determined. Omega n is equal to 24.49. When you are substituting it, you will get damping ratio zeta is equal to 1.43. This is a simple, another simple problem. It's very simple because they ask you to find out only two parameters, that is the natural frequency and damping ratio. If they are asking you to find out peak time, peak overshoot, etc., then we need to solve few additional steps to obtain those equations that we will discuss in the next class. Okay, so with this I'm stopping, and I'll start the next problem, and I'll just read the problem and I'll stop the lecture. So next problem is saying the unit feedback system is characterized by an open loop transfer function g of s is equal to k divided by s into s plus 10. Determine the gain k so that the system will have damping ratio is equal to 0.5 for this for this value of k. Determine peak overshoot and time at peak overshoot for unit step signal. இங்க என்னெல்லாம் கொடுத்திருக்காங்கன்னா zeta கொடுத்திருக்காங்க. So zeta, damping ratio zeta is given. Using this zeta value, you need to find out the natural frequency, that is omega, and the gain கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். பீக் ஓவர்ஷூட் கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். பீக் ஓவர்ஷூட் எப்போ நடக்குது, எந்த டயத்தில் நடக்குது, that is t suffix p, இது எல்லாமே கண்டுபிடிக்கணும். So this we will discuss in the next class, and now I am going to take attendance. Just now I have seen some 5 minutes back I have seen the total number of present is around 33, but it's showing 31. Okay, I do not know why people are not showing interest on attending classes. Okay, so now I am taking attendance. Attendance எடுக்கணும். Yes, so I have taken attendance. Download attendance. லாஸ்ட்டில் யாரெல்லாம் ஜாயின் பண்ணா? நிறைய பேர் வந்து லாஸ்ட்டில் ஜாயின் பண்ணாங்க. லாஸ்ட் 10 மினிட்ஸ் இருக்கும்போது ஜாயின் பண்ணாங்க. யாருன்னு தெரியல எனக்கு, ஒரு 2 பேர் தெரியல. பட் I'll go through the attendance and I'll call you one by one. So when I am starting the class, I ask you to